So one of the things that we have been working on in this has been just overall assembling the frame. Um, Most of my frame is finished, but part of the frame that I need to work on here is going to be the seat and the place where it mounts to the sprocket. So unfortunately, still have a bit of work to do there. Now what I'm going to do for right now is I'm actually going to step away from SolidWorks for a little bit and step into SolidWorks in a different way. So this is GrabCad. GrabCad is, in the past, I've actually had students download a GrabCad attachment that lets you share files with each other. Didn't work all that well, unfortunately, and it didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do, which is a little frustrating because that's exactly what it was designed for. But the nice thing about GrabCad is that people all over the world have been making a lot of parts. Some of them are useless. Some of them are like, look, it's a tire spelled with Y. You have your Sentry. Kind of looks like a portal looking thing. Look, here's a bike. It's kind of ironic. Actually, there's a lot of bikes on here. If you just look up bike, let's see, motorcycle, electric motorcycle, bike. Ooh, a walking bike. There's a lot of very unique Tron Legacy bike. A lot of very unique stuff. You'll notice there's multiple pages of materials that all are related to bikes. You can find a lot of things on here. Now, I don't want you to just straight up download your assembly from GrabCad. It's bad form, it's bad practice, and quite frankly, it's horribly unethical. For this project, considering part of it is to expand your horizons of what you're looking at. Plus, you have to be able to make some modification to it to show that your bike or your vehicle overall is not just standard grab and place. But the nice thing about GrabCad as a whole is that, quite frankly, SolidWorks makes it easy to share parts. Sharing parts, sharing pieces is tremendously helpful. So let's say I got tired of building my own frame and I just wanted to borrow this guy's frame. I could do that. I could also steal this guy's chain assembly and his sprocket. I could do that. Break down his parts, just take only those pieces. Now, anywhere I would use this, because this is GrabCad is a license-free site. Technically, I don't have to give them credit for it. Usually, it's a good idea. I'm not actually sure if they've updated the terms since I've last seen it, but if you produce this for a company, they may be entitled to get some of your some of your money if you do go ahead and publish something that is mostly theirs. So do be wary about taking other people's intellectual property and trying to sell it as your own. But individual little components, those types of things, they're still very, very workable. So what I'm going to be looking for on mine is I don't want to have to build a bike pedal. I could build a bike pedal. It's great. Bike pedals are great. But here, man, I got some very interesting bikes to look at. There's a bike crank set. Some just individual pedals. And here's a bike crank assembly. And this is more what I'm aiming for. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. It loads in the 3D viewer, which I believe allows you to actually click on that. Yeah, allows you to rotate it in 3D. So this is the kind of thing that I want to include in my system. Having that sprocket in there, having the axle in there, having these components in here. I'll have to assemble something so that it stays in place. But overall, this is what I want. So let me go ahead and jump out of this and scroll down. So the issue here is I really hope that when he built it, he actually built it in the assembly. If this is just a... Yeah, some people will just put the assembly file up here without putting the parts that are associated with them. That's a problem. Here, if he actually built it into the assembly file will be fairly large and it'll have all those parts in it. So I guess we'll find out. Oh, it's gonna make me sign in. Login failed. It already exists and was registered. Let's see if I can log in. Oh, I did. Nice. Now I actually want to go back. Go back. Okay, and there it downloaded. So, yeah. What you'll notice here is that this person stated that the parts are missing. That's a problem, because when I go to click on this, what's going to happen is it's unable to find certain pieces. The spindle is missing. I'm going to suppress this component. Unable to find the crank arm. Suppress. Unable to find crank arm revised. Chainring screw. Crank screw washer. Just going to go ahead and suppress all of the missing components. And here's what we're left with. So none of the parts were included in this. You just gave the assembly file. Just trying to grab the assembly file, there's nothing there. This is a useless model. SolidWorks knows what it's supposed to look like, but without the actual parts, this is trash. So don't save. Gonna throw that model away. Go back in here and gonna look for a different model. Hopefully a more complete model. Please don't make this mistake. Anytime you send an assembly file, you have to include the parts. This is why I say copy your parts. Anytime you make some new assembly, you need to copy your parts. So here, this one has a couple of PDFs that actually show the bike. Here, this has an STL file. The STL file would load as a full solid assembly, and this is really all I think that we're going to need. So let me go ahead and download this. I will... That's interesting. Not exactly what I was expecting on. Also, I don't know what program this is. Windows, trying to get into the... So that must be the part that was built. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can get this piece here. Or how much of this piece here. Looks like it comes with some kind of a pipe. We'll see. So I'll go ahead and I will download all of these parts. How do I download them all? Download files. I guess I should have seen the giant red button. and then I will go over to my project and put this zip file in here. I'll go ahead and extract all to here, and it opens this. It's a part called belly. Nice. And then I'll delete this. Now this does contain all of the SolidWorks part and assembly files. Part. So I'm just going to pop open this assembly, see what it looks like. It's going to rebuild because it's making sure that it can pair all of these part names with parts that are in the folder that the assembly is in. And you'll notice here it was able to. So this is the part that I'm looking at. Now the one piece I don't want actually is this pipe. So since I do have the full piece here, well, the full assembly, I can take this and I can delete this, and it's going to cause some problems, but then I'm going to have to, nice, this was definitely done Russian. It's going to create some problems. I'm going to create a new fixed part that's going to be this belly piece here. It's called the belly. And this one's going to be my fixed part. It'll change that to an F. Usually in these files, you need to have one part that's fixed, and the rest of the parts need to be floating. Floating is denoted by this minus sign. Right click on here, I have the option to fix it. If I right click on the fixed part, I have the option to make it float. So in an assembly, that allows me to rotate these pedals like this. Okay, now if I put this assembly as is into my bike, what you're going to notice is that you're not going to be able to rotate the pedals. That's not a huge problem to me. If you really wanted to do it, you'd have to make sure that you actually put all of these parts into that assembly file. Kind of as is. So I would have to rebuild this assembly in that other assembly. Now first things first, I'm going to do some measuring because I want to be able to figure out what the size of this piece is right there so that I can plug it into my bike. Looks like it's just a round tube, so yeah, maybe we'll do some kind of a press fit or something. That would probably be appropriate, but I'm gonna need a correct mounting on my bike frame to correctly press fit this. So I'll go ahead and click measure, and then I'm just going to click on this part. It'll give me the information on it. It's a 36.5 millimeter diameter, which that's what I need. I do need to know the length there, but given that that's 36.5 millimeters, my guess is that's going to be about 72 millimeters, or about 3 inches across. So we'll go ahead and try going into our frame. Open, and we're going to just add in our frame, we're going to add a 3-inch by 36 millimeter, which is like, it's about 1 inch and 3/8. We'll just include that mount. We're going to put it somewhere over here, so I'm actually going to have to create a pipe that goes from here to here. So, nice. Zoom in like that. Gonna go ahead and do a sketch. And to do my sketch, I'll take a line. Oh, wait, I guess I need to select a plane. Trying to get out of myself. Do that front plane. go. Now, I'll do a line that goes from here. I'll make it be perpendicular. Enter. Enter. Do another line. Make it go from here. I want this one to be perpendicular also, but we'll see if I can make that happen. So add relation. Making it be perpendicular. It gives a little bit more strength because there's more force that's actually being transmitted into this and less force that's being transmitted along the edge. So, okay, so that one's perpendicular. Go ahead and pick this line and add a relation. Make it perpendicular to this line. Which it already was, but whatever. Hit OK. And now I'm going to create an arc. Want it to be tangent to this line here. And tangent to this point here. Go ahead and hit yes, because that's my arc. I'll add relations to it. I got my arc picked, pick my line, make these tangent, hit yes, then add relations, delete this line, select this line, also make a tangent. Notice it just made it friggin' huge. Nice. Nice work. You suck. Probably should have gonna hit Control Z on that one. Probably should have tried to get this a little bit closer to where I wanted it to be. So I'll grab this point, drag it down, make it look like that. Now I'll add the relation to make it tangent. There we go. So now I've got a route that I'm going to use. I'm going to fully fix this. And in order to fully fix this, I'm going to have to provide some dimension. I think all I need to do to fully fix this is actually just define this radius here. I'm going to make this radius be 6. Okay. So that's nice. I'm going to go ahead and define the distance from this line to the origin. And I'm going to make this be 20 inches. And I will go ahead and dimension this point down to this line and make that be 15 inches. And you'll notice that says now that it's fully fixed. I don't actually think I like that. I'll change this to 24. Oh! SolidWorks says you're going to fail. SolidWorks can't tell me what to do. What are you, the man? Okay, so now I've defined these distances. My bike sprocket's going to be about right here. I don't like that either. SolidWorks is going to complain. I mean, but this is a normal day, right? That's something I like. So I'll go ahead and exit sketch. Yay. Now I've got one of my 2 sketches that I need to define that pipe that's going to go between those 2. So I'll have to create another sketch. And this time I'll create a sketch. Let's see. Oh, I've already got this plane right here. So if I just create it on this plane, that should be good. So I'm going to create a circle. Here at this point. Oh. I don't want to sketch there. So I'm going to Control Z out of it. I want to sketch here on this plane. There we go. And now let's see if I can select that point again. Yeah, I can. I'll just make my typical tube the way I have always done it. And give it some dimensions. Outer tube, usually what, 1.5? Yep. And then the wall thickness is 0.25. SolidWorks is going to complain again. This does not like it when I'm live streaming. Deal with it. Where's my shade? Deal with it, SolidWorks. I'm going to say that until my computer actually explodes while I'm recording this video. Okay. So now I've got my two sketches that I need. I'm going to go ahead and do a swept boss base again. I will have that selected. And then for my curve, I pick this sketch here. And there we go. And now I have a very nice pipe connection that I can mount my pedal to. I'm not going to quite be done yet because I am going to go ahead and do one last thing. While this here is nice for structural support and for mounting, I actually want to draw that bearing piece that's going to actually hold the pedal assembly. Okay. SolidWorks, gosh. Asked me what I was going to do today, and I was like, gosh, whatever I want. I'm going to go ahead and save and close out of that file and hope that SolidWorks just stops. Yikes. You were just a little extra today. Okay. Now hopefully SolidWorks will stop freaking out so much. Nope, still freaking out. Gonna continue to get these errors. I should close like Google, but I don't want to. I really like the sound of errors at this point. Fantastic song for something. Okay, so we needed the inside circle. We needed the inside circle to be 36 millimeters, which is 1.375 inches. We'll make this wall thickness. I'm just gonna set this at 1/4 of an inch again. Do. And then we have to define the location of this circle. while SolidWorks continues to freak out. No. 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 So I kind of want this piece to be tangent to this tube. Not really sure what that point is, but I can select it. Looks like it's actually inside of that sketch. It is the top quadrant of that circle. Whatever the case is, I am totally going to dimension to that thing. So here, I'm going to set the vertical distance to be 1.75. You'll notice there's a little bit of an intersection. I actually don't mind. You could grind that piece off and weld it on. I'm not going to add a relation because I can find that point and then find this point and make them vertical. And it'll fix my drawing. So just found something that I can use to connect to. I could have dimensioned all of these based on the origin. The origin's way over here. That can get a little cumbersome, which is why I like a little bit more local. I was fortunate to have a weird dot that was just present. So I'll hit exit, and then I'm going to extruded boss base, and we're going to make this 3 inches, and I'm going to extrude through midplane. And hit OK. And now I have a little mount that I can use for the pedal assembly. So, huzzah! And the assumption here is you'd probably want to weld those right there. I'm not going to draw in the welds, but you probably want to, just because this component is not, I mean, it's going to pop off. And you do not want that. I could make another pipe that would go underneath this to kind of capture it all, but I don't want to. So go ahead and save this quick. Go back into my actual bike assembly. This will say, hey, do you want to rebuild it? I'll say yes. You'll notice I've got my paddle mount now. Thank you, SolidWorks. Thank you. That'll be all, Jeeves. Or not. And then go back in here and insert components. Go ahead and browse. I'm going to go find that bike assembly piece. It'll ask me where I want it. Right here. Notice since I saved it, it no longer has that pipe on it. And then I'm just going to quickly mate this centerline axis to this one. SolidWorks is going to just freak out at a new level. And then I'm going to do one more mate just to fix. This is the donder of belly 1. To the outside face here. SolidWorks is going to freak out and then move it. I'm going to hit yes. And then you'll notice it actually fits in pretty well. And now I have a pedal assembly. Huzzah! So there we go. So that's my pedal, and that's how you would use GrabCad to simplify this process a little bit. Now, I've got really 2 more components, 2 more videos that I have to produce. One of them is how to do this rear seat and spring assembly, and the other one is how I would mount a motor. Motor and battery pack would go down here. Well, it would just make a motor, make a battery pack. I am not going to model the chain. The chain itself is kind of a nightmare, and I don't want to deal with that. So just modeling the motor and the batteries, mounting them to this frame, and then modeling this seat. And that will be everything else that I do. And then I will be done with my overall drawing. So I'll see you all next week.